Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, today we're drilling down into something, well, pretty fascinating linguistically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, why words that seem like complete opposites, think probate and reprobate, actually come from the very same Latin root, probare.
Ah, yes. Probare.
Our mission today, to unpack that,
Yeah.
show you why it all makes sense once you understand the original idea of proof.
It really is a great linguistic puzzle. Back in ancient Rome, probare wasn't just about proving something true in, like, a factual sense.
Right.
It had this active sense of to test something, or maybe more precisely, to test something and find it good.
Like testing bread, maybe.
Oh,
A
yeah.
baker testing the bread.
Exactly. Or a winemaker testing their wine, a craftsman showing their work was up to scratch. The core idea really is about verification showing something is what it claims to be.
And it seems like when that idea came into English, the word to prove was, well, much broader at first.
Definitely. It absolutely included the idea of experiencing something or trying it out.
So like in old texts, when they talk about a knight needing to prove his courage,
He wasn't proving it like a math theorem. He was testing it, showing it through action. It actually took quite some time, centuries really, for the meaning to narrow down to just, establishing something as fact.
and knowing that original testing meaning, that must clear up some confusing phrases.
Oh, absolutely. It's key.
Yeah.
Especially for one of the most butchered phrases in English, the exception proves the rule.
Right. Everyone thinks that means the exception somehow confirms the rule, which logically
Makes no sense.
0 sense. So you're saying if we look back, especially maybe in law, proves here meant its older meaning tests.
Precisely. The real meaning is the exception tests the rule. It forces you to look at the rule's limits, its conditions, where it applies and where it doesn't.
Wow. Okay, that completely changes how you read that. The exception forces you to check the rule, not confirm it.
Exactly. Forces scrutiny.
Okay, that's brilliant. And speaking of rigorous testing something to prove its qualities, that gave us another really surprising term, didn't it? Something many of us use without thinking.
It certainly did. This idea of testing quality wasn't just legal or abstract. It got quite chemical, you could say.
We're talking booze, right? 100 proof alcohol.
That's the one.
You listening probably know the term proof for alcohol strength, but the origin story is wild. How did they test it back in Old England before they had fancy instruments?
Well, they used gunpowder. Seriously.
Gunpowder? How's
They'd
that?
mix a sample of the spirit with gunpowder and then try to set it alight.
Okay.
If the gunpowder still ignited after the alcohol had burned away, then the spirit was considered proven strong. It had passed the test.
So the proof was literally in the gunpowder lighting up. That's incredible. That determined the proof level.
It all comes back to testing for goodness, or in this case, strength, which loops us back perfectly to our original puzzle. Probate versus reprobate.
Right. How does probare, this testing route, give us one word for like official approval and another for basically a bad person?
Well, the prefixes do some work there, pro versus re, but the core is still probare to test. Probate, like with a will, that's when a court tests the will, examines it, and officially proves it genuine. It's tested and found good, verified.
Okay, that makes sense. Tested and approved.
But a reprobate, there implies, again, or maybe intensely, this is someone who has been tested, maybe repeatedly, and found, well, lacking, proven bad. They've failed the moral test, you could say.
Failed the test. Got it. So tested and found unworthy. Wow. And once you see that test connection, a whole lot of other words suddenly click into place, don't they?
They really do.
Like probation, that's obviously just a trial period, isn't it?
Right.
A test to see if someone's suitable, trustworthy.
Exactly. Or think about probity. We admire someone with probity.
Meaning proven honesty, good character that's been demonstrated.
Precisely. Tested and shown to be good. And then there's approbation. If you get approbation, it's formal approval or praise.
Because you've been tested, in a sense, and found worthy. Approved.
Right. And even the simple prefixes change the nuance. We approve something, we test it and find it good. But if we reprove someone...
Like scolding them.
Yeah, we're essentially testing them again, finding fault, pointing out where they failed the standard. It's a form of correction based on a negative test result.
So the big takeaway for you, listening, seems clear. Whenever you see prob or prov pop up in a word,
like probable or probe or approve,
the deep down meaning is tangled up with test, try, prove, or approve.
It's really consistent.
You even see it carrying through in other languages, right? Like I think in Spanish, probar still means to try or to test.
That's absolutely right. If you try a new food in Spanish, you probar la comida. You're literally testing the food.
Testing the food.
Oh,
Love it.
exactly. So that original sense of proving always had this element of testing or trying out baked right in, which maybe leaves us with a final thought for you to mull over. Given that history, that connection between proving and testing, what modern ideas or rules or maybe even beliefs in your own life might need a bit more active testing, a bit more probar, perhaps?
Something to think about. What needs testing next? A great question to end on.
Indeed. Until the next deep dive.